Hello everybody, welcome to another speedrun game. We have the white pieces against Hanif. He's rated 1623 and we get a Caro-Kann on the board. Lots of people play the Caro-Kann, so you're going to get it a ton. YouTubers, everyone is promoting it. Although this isn't the Caro-Kann because he didn't bring his bishop out. This is just much worse version of any opening. This guy's rated 1623, but this is clearly terrible. Okay. So he plays a delayed French, which just gives us free move to go f4. So normally we would have this position and go c3, and it would be his turn. But now we have the same thing, but with f4. So just a free pawn storming move thanks to this guy. And now we have, okay, he takes. We have this type of pawn structure, which allows us to potentially attack a castled king. But he's going to try to apply pressure to this point. We already know that ahead of time. Let's develop our king side, defend the pawn. He plays f6, trying to break down our structure, not developing a piece. If he takes, we can take with the f pawn, and I don't really see what he's accomplished. So I want to continue developing. Let me simply bring my other knight out to its favorite square. Block the diagonal for any checks, and see what black does. Okay, he pins the knight. But if he takes, I also am happy to see that. So I want to continue developing. Let's bring the bishop out on this nice diagonal and prepare castling. Okay, so he takes our pawn in the center on e5. We don't want to take with the d pawn and let him push. We want to take with the f pawn, open our bishop and our rook once we're castled. And white's position looks great because these boulders in the center restrict black, not white. He now develops a knight, also prepares castling. We could castle. Let's do that. Our knight is unpinned. We can develop our bishop. There's this f file. He has a weak e6 point. Maybe we can create a light square battery. Since his light squares he can't help with his bishop, we can attack h7. He doesn't have a knight on f6 helping defend that square, or his king. He's probably going to do one of these moves, and we can try to remove it, maybe with a pawn or a piece. So he takes our knight, so a forced move, and now we support our center. This pawn protects our central d4 point, so now our knight's free to go on escapades. Now he makes h6, trying to keep my pieces out of this square, but this is severely weakening to the light squares. I hope you can see that. And so, not a good move. Okay. Well, now that he's severely weakened g6, we can try to just occupy it outright. He can't really do anything about it because these boulders in the center keep his pieces from coming to this side of the board. So let's do that. Now he cannot castle through check, very important. We're opening up queen h5, very important. So this knight was in the way of 15 points of material, and it wasn't going anywhere. Now we're unlocking 15 points of material and giving the knight a future. So very powerful move. He moves his knight, tries to kind of counter everything, but the damage is already done. We can start with a check. Let's start with a check. It's a free improving move that's extremely strong. In his position, targeting weaknesses, his king coordinating with my own pieces. It's game over. So now he has to try to run with his king, because what else? This immediately hangs material on f5. If you jump the knight in, try to be a little fancy. I mean, you could, but I'd rather just get my knight off the rim, take his only piece that's really in the game, right? He has to take back unless he wants to just lose a piece. And now we could take with 3 different pieces. 2 of them come with check. Not fun for our opponent. Um, he's likely to run to the dark squares. So let's throw in this check so he can't run to the left. Then when he blocks with his queen, or the knight, but probably the queen. Why the knight though? To defend this pawn? That's a little weird because this is coming next with check. And I feel like maybe you wanted your queen here. In any case, we take a free pawn with check. His knight's pinned. His king is kind of running, and this is hanging. We can get our bishop in with a big threat. 2 big threats. I like that. If you push to try to get it in the other way, I would do it maybe if this came with a threat with tempo. But seeing as it doesn't, I think I'm just going to go for this. I'm now threatening to win a piece. He could take here, but you could just take with the rook. The knight is pinned. He could try to defend the knight with a rook. But we got another piece in the game. We also can give a check. We could even start with the check. What does this do? Well, I'm not sure what it does. Okay, hold on. He took a piece. We take a piece. He gets the queen, we get a piece. He moves the bishop. That's not what we want. We don't want a queen trade. So if we take this way, we're hitting his queen. He has to move his queen somewhere, let's say here. Then I take the bishop, and then he takes this one. We're up a pawn, his king's running. We still have our queen. That's fine. If we take here and he goes here, then we get a piece, he gets a queen. We get a queen, he gets a piece. So which line? I'm going to throw in this check because I have to go down one of those lines anyway. Might as well throw in this check, give him one last opportunity to go wrong or do something dumb with his king before I force myself down those lines. Like if he goes here, I don't know. Maybe it gives new things. You know what I mean? Like maybe he does something dumb. If he doesn't do something dumb, then I guess we go down one of those lines. Okay, he goes here. Wasn't this my example for something dumb? Now this square is currently covered by the bishop, but there's 2 pieces hanging. So let's take one of them and try not to run out of time. See, now his king is on a checkable square. Okay, I'm going to take this piece, hit the queen. I'm hitting the queen, and I'm hitting the bishop. And check once the bishop's gone. And if the bishop's gone, there's other checks too. And if the queen doesn't defend this, there's that. So it's a lot of things he has to keep track of. If he tries to counter the queen, you just can take it with the bishop. So he offers the queen trade, but I can give this check and pick up the piece. I can also just take the piece and protect the queen. So we have options. But I think I'm just going to pick up the free piece like this. I'm going to get the bishop to a defended square with tempo. and then avoid the queen trade because he put himself in the corner. So if I put my rook here, okay, he's trying to create an escape. Fair enough. We already are winning. We're up 4 points of material. You can convert in any number of ways. I suppose we will queen trade since we're up 4 points. We'll force it once he goes here. Our rook will be infiltrated. We'll be up an extra bishop. We have a connected passer. Fine. So we'll just put this on the most annoying square in the middle of his position. Easily worth 4 points. And if he goes here, we force the queen trade. If he doesn't go there, we'll just go rook here and maybe mate him. Okay, he goes there, which is odd. I mean, whatever. This doesn't come with check, but we'll go here anyway. I know I moved it back earlier, but it doesn't really matter what you do. Because now it's overwhelming. He can't even contest. You can always double even if he could. So he goes here. The only other potential place to go is semi-open file. But we're going to block that off. And if he, again, he can't go here. But even if he could, rook f1, I would have gone to contest it. So I'm just taking away the potential files that his rooks want to go to. Okay, he trades one. He'll put the other rook here. And maybe we can push. No, we can't. Okay, he should have put the rook there, but didn't. Um, you could do anything you want. Don't even pay attention to my moves right now. I don't know what he's doing, though. I'm just doing a funny move that opens my rook this way, but totally unnecessary. You could have moved your rook here. You could have pushed your pawns. You could do what you want. He does this, so I'll just get my rook in this way. Doesn't really matter. These pawns, no matter, even if you gave him all the free turns, the second he pushes, you just blockade. I meant to go to c5, but my hand slipped and took the pawn. Not that it matters, but I wanted to reduce his activity, not do this, but whatever. Let's get a queen. If he goes behind, everything they try to do, you just stop them, right? Checks are meaningless. Okay, maybe he's trying to box your kinging. It never works, but whatever. We threaten the queen and we hang 2 pieces because we don't care. It just doesn't matter. You don't need to play the best move. You're just kind of waiting for him to resign. And how does he stop it? He can't go here because our king now covers that square. He can't go here because... So now here come the random checks. Take the pawn. Okay, he goes for the pieces. That's some... Let's get the queen. Take the bishop. So he gets 8 points for it. So it's, it's not bad, but it's completely lost. And it's just a super easy conversion, so... I mean, if he doesn't take the bishop, that's even worse. So... Not sure what he's going to do. But what's he thinking about? Yeah, you have to kind of take it, right? I can't force to win the rook, can I? Probably not. I'm going to give this check instead of the obvious check. Because instead of pushing him to the left with his rook, I'm going to force him to the right. Otherwise, I'll win the rook next turn. And by going to the right, I'm going to push my pawn and kind of keep him in this box. And maybe he'll run into some tactic where I pick up the rook anyway. Okay. You can give some random checks, but I don't See the point? I mean, if he's not careful, we just get a second queen. You didn't have to do any of this. You could have kept all your pieces, obviously. You don't have to give away your army, but this is much more interesting. So he wants to go here and pick up our stuff. Let's give him a check so that his king is not attacking that square. This is a blunder because we'll give up our queen for the rook. This is also a blunder as we win the rook. Is he really going to play? Wow. Pushing. Then why? Why do you have to wait till now? It's like, I understand playing because you can get playing for stalemate tricks, and I would do that myself. But if you're just going to resign randomly, then you weren't playing for stalemate tricks, and then what are you really doing? Okay. So anyway, let's go through this game. This was a Caro-Kann advanced variation until he goes e6. The second he goes e6, you are out of book, out of theory. You cannot rely on memorized lines. You're on your own. So you have to understand chess, not lines. And as terribly as he played it, he got 89% accuracy with 0 blunders. It's just 4 mistakes and 2 inaccuracies. That's pretty good. But we had 2 inaccuracies and 1 mistake throughout the game. Although according to the graph, it's probably a mistake that doesn't matter because everything looks good. With 29 cent a pawn. So there's various ways to play this, but you're basically up a tempo in a French where they would already have c5 instead of c6. So I used that tempo to just get aggressive with f4. Now he attacks it. We defend our center French style. He takes, force move. It's an even game, but white's preferred just because of the space and the potential. He attacks your center, you develop and defend. He now attacks with the pawn, but this looks very early to be doing this, although maybe it's possible. In any case, we ignore, just develop a piece towards the center. Says it's plus 1.2 starting now, and it only gets way worse for black from here on. So we just develop towards the center and towards this weak light square. Wait, is that what he did? No, he took. He took, which didn't really make any sense because it gives us an open F file. It gives us these weak light squares towards this king. And now he can't develop here because if we take it, that's all the pawn cover ruined. So it says it's plus 2.3, basically positionally winning already for white. And it looks really good for white. So he develops and we castle. This is the one turn he has to castle. If he doesn't castle right now, we're going to move our knight like we did in the game, and he's just even worse. He takes our knight, so that's just a force move. And I want you to see how the evaluation goes from plus 2, to plus 3.5 by making one simple trade. That bishop is generally black's best piece, minor piece, complementing his pawn structure and covering the dark squares. But when he gives it up, he no longer has coverage of these dark squares, and I can do what I want. And that was all for my knight, which wasn't really going in anywhere. Then he makes another super weakness. So we just jump to the side to take advantage of all of the light squares. Beautiful. Plus 3.5, totally crushing. Game over. And from plus 3.5 to plus 7. Double evaluation. He makes the most natural developing move, trying to defend. Because what else? You can't castle. You can't bring any other pieces. Engine wants you to just attack a random pawn, but it looks like you're about to get checkmated. So he does the most human thing, and it goes to plus 7 because we give this check. We take the material, throw in more checks, more material, and it's +6. So just devastating attack. We throw in this check just to see if he goes wrong. Otherwise, we were going to just take the knight and go down that line. He goes here, which is wrong. So it's good that we gave him this opportunity. So what's the king's best square? To go back? Yeah, to go back and defend the knight. I thought that might be an option because then when you take, he has the option of trying to defend. You know, it's like the knight's not hanging anymore. Okay, so he goes here. We now take the knight. Wait, here, here. Oh, because we have two rooks, duh. And that is checkmate. Okay. Okay, so you could be fancier. There were some fancy moves here, but I mean, you can see it's all just +7 all the way across. So it doesn't matter what you do. We give a check, get out of dodge, force him in the corner, pick up a free piece. Force move. Our position is overwhelming and dominating. Even if there was no mate, we offer a queen trade up, 4 points of material. We block his counterplay. He trades. I feel like he should have tried this at least, saying, hey, I'm attacking your bishop and the pawn. Then we move our bishop and he's like, hey, I win something. But at the end of the day, we just go behind our passer and push, and he can't stop it. So it's just like a little thing that makes them feel good, but doesn't matter. He didn't do it though. He just pushes his pawns randomly. And we can develop our rook by using this hook and this coordination. It's unique. I mean, it's creative, so I like doing stuff like this. We get our rook in the game, we mouse slip, and then we force the queen. And you can see how even though I gave up 2 pieces, which you don't have to do, the evaluation doesn't even dip a tiny bit, so it just makes your conversion easier. So hopefully you're learning to give up stuff to make easy conversions. Good luck in your chess. See you in the next one.